This episode of Nothing But Raiders podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 platform to browse, discover, and experience the best events in town, and all in the palm of your hand. From heart-pounding concerts that can make you dance to nail-biting sports games that can keep you on the edge of your seat, SeatGeek has it all. From exclusive deals and personalized recommendations tailored just for you. Use our promo code SRT and get $20 off your first purchase. So join the movement. SeatGeek. Get up, get out, and get tickets.
I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated, and then respect could come after that. I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated, and then respect could come after that.
What up? What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Your boy is here and we are live. Got my boy here. What's up, Black? What's going on?
What's good with brother?
None. We here, man. We here. 53-man roster. Everything's roster cuts. All that went down today. How you feeling about that? I mean, you are in the locker room. I mean, you probably already know these cuts was coming because you got the locker room access according to your background, brother. I think your mic is muted, man. Yeah, I think Black, your mic is muted.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You good?
Okay, sorry about that. You know how we struggle.
You good?
No, I was saying that I didn't really see anything glaringly that I was like, oh man, why we do that? Christian Wilkinson, I was looking for him to make the team. But it's kind of iffy when it comes to the wide receiver position. So I don't know. I like what I see. I don't see something that made me be like, why did we do that or why we didn't do that? So I don't know. I don't feel either way about it. So I guess that's a good thing.
Give me 1 second. I know Willie is looking for the code. Just give me 1 second here while I get him on here real quickly. But me personally, I could say this. The only person that really stuck out to me that actually was kind of shocking that made this team. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the cuts first. So I do have the cuts pulled up in a share screen. So let me just pull it up real quick. And the one that really kind of like shocked me that didn't make this. Let me see if I can zoom this up a little bit. I don't think it's gonna let me, but let me see. Let me see if it's gonna let me zoom in now. Cause I need to see honestly. Oh, actually, this is the wrong one. Okay, so yeah, it's not gonna really let me zoom in like I want to, but the one that really got me out of all of these was Sam Webb.
Sam Webb.
Sam Webb was the one of the ones that I thought that probably was going to stay on this 53-man roster because of the injury prone Brandon Faison.
Yeah, I think wasn't Webb on the practice squad like 2 years in a row too, something like that.
Yeah, and he ended up making the 53-man roster and playing a lot of games due to injury at the cornerback position.
Right.
You know, came in and made some turnovers, got some interceptions and stuff of that nature. She had even a big it wasn't even what's going on, Willie? What's up, man?
What's happening, folk?
What happening? But we were just talking about the 53-man roster overall and how I thought the shocking to me was Sam Webb that didn't make this roster. And just Vinny B of the Las Vegas Review Journal just tweeted out not too long ago that Brandon Faison at practice for the Las Vegas Raiders. But Brandon Faison didn't play. He didn't practice all preseason. He didn't play all preseason. And Sam Webb was the one. I don't know if y'all watched the third preseason game against the 49ers where Sam Webb got the good coverage on the deflection for Chris Smith to get the interception, almost a pick six. My thing is this. I'm very, very surprised that Sam Webb got cut. Out of all these players, that was the only one that stood out to me. And Brandon Faison making the team, I just don't. He's injury prone. I understand that the GM for the Raiders signed him as an undrafted free agent back in 2018 when he was with the Chargers and all that stuff. I get all that, but this man ain't practice all preseason. He ain't play all preseason. How do he deserve a roster spot? Make that make sense to me.
I think they're gonna put Webb. I think they hope he clears so they can sign him to the practice squad again, and use him as like an insurance for Faison. Like I like Faison really, but I mean like the best ability is availability, and if you're not available, I mean it doesn't matter how good you are. So, I think they're kind of like trying to, not double down, but have an insurance policy in the event that bruh don't play well or he gets injured, and then Webb comes right in and pick up where he left off at, because he's familiar with the team.
And the piggyback on that too, y'all, is that there might be an experience choice. There may be an experience choice from that standpoint. And now, do we know has the practice squad members come out yet?
I can actually find out because I do follow Deshaun Reed. I do follow.
But they got to clear waivers for one day or something like that.
Yeah, they got to clear waivers for a day.
So with that being said, then it will make a whole lot of sense if it were an experienced pick. But at the same time, when Sam Webb had played as well as he did, you're taking a gamble that he won't clear waivers and somebody else is going to pick him up.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I really don't want Sam Webb to get picked up by anybody else. In my personal opinion, I think Sam Webb is very familiar with the team. I understand the experience of Brandon Faison, but we've seen his over and over again with different teams that Brandon Faison's been on. I don't even think he played 10 games when he was with the Indianapolis Colts, when he was over there with Gus Bradley due to injury. Like I said, best ability is availability, and I understand you want to keep the experience on there. But if this guy has not practiced and this guy has not played in not one snap of preseason, how do you give that man a roster spot? Now, what I would have did is gave Sam Webb the roster spot, put and waived Brandon Faison, and then put Faison on the practice squad so he's 100% healthy. Like this is something like I want players on a team that's going to be healthy going into week one. Brandon Faison is just not that. That's the only one. So that's the only one I really like.
Would clear waivers. I don't think Faison would clear waivers, even with his how he is. I mean, but he has some kind of resume. So, I mean, some team with that need will probably risk it. Maybe. I mean, I'm just thinking from an aspect of people know who Faison is versus Webb. You know.
How many years does Faison have in the league?
So, Brandon Faison, let me find out right now for you. Because Faison, I know he was on a few teams before he came to the Raiders. So I know this is his second stint with the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. He's actually 29 years old.
What you want to know?
So he's been in the league for a good 4 to 5 years.
The Los Angeles Chargers in 2018, and then the Las Vegas. Then he played for a few other teams. I don't know why this is all. Okay, let me just see this real quick. Okay, here we go. I got it. So Brandon Faison, he's had 7 years in the league. He's from Virginia Tech.
See, he can't, if I'm not mistaken, fellas, I don't think he's eligible to be on the practice squad at 7 years.
Well, I don't know.
And that's why I say that it might be an experience thing, because I think the cutoff, if I'm not mistaken, I think the cutoff is either 4 or 5 full seasons in which you have to be you can't be eligible for the practice squad. So if he's been in the league for 7 years, that would explain why they didn't put him on the practice squad. If anybody in the chat knows for sure, if they can look it up for us and let us know. Yeah, it's 4 years according to Roger. I almost said Rodney Dangerfield. Raider Dangerfield says it's 4 or you're cut. So yeah, he couldn't be on the practice squad.
Well, I mean, I just feel like I'm kind of nervous about Brandon Faison going into the season, and I don't think if he goes in as our number 2 corner outside of Nate Hobbs or whoever's on the outside, because I'm gonna put up the 53-man roster according to the Raiders Instagram. I'm just not a big fan of Faison being. I don't think he's going to be out there week 1. I mean, he's at practice right now, but I really need to see that injury report right before week 1 to see if he's on the injury report, because he's been on the injury report all preseason and all training camp. So I really hope that it works out, and I really hope Sam Webb makes the practice squad, and actually most likely he gets back to the 3-man roster like last year. But out of all these cuts, I think that was the only concerning one for me. But another one I kind of like Woo Governor, but I understand why Woo Governor didn't make the team, because you had DeCamerion Richardson, you had the other guy Devonshire, that both make the squad, and they definitely balled out as well. So I looked at it. What was the players Willie, what was the one players that stood out to you that made the team and didn't make the team?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's a shock or any sort of standout, but I mean, it is obviously for me a personal tie when we talk about Jalen Guyton being waived. As you guys know, I do the Real Moms of the Shield show with his mom. And she texted me and Rashawn Gary's mom earlier today and was like, yeah, he, they waived him. But she also said that he is a priority practice squad. So what that tells me is that, number one, he has to clear waivers, and he just might not clear waivers he just may not clear waivers for real, because, he's got the speed. He's got that speed factor that every team could use. So we'll see what happens by Thursday where we are. And if he does not clear waivers, obviously he will be signing with another team. If he does clear waivers, then to me, he'll be like one of the first 2 or 3 that are called up from the practice squad in case anything happens. So obviously for me, that's a personal personal tie for me, for somebody that didn't make it, that I'm really wishing that did make it. Really and truly, what you said about Sam Webb, I mean, the Raiders, and I understand that they're gonna hit the waiver wire too, and possibly look for a veteran to add some depth to the defensive backfield. But when you did what Sam Webb did, number one, like we just talked about, it makes me nervous that he may not clear waivers. I mean, you like a guy so much that he may not clear waivers, but at the same time, you're taking a gamble. I kind of wish Wu would have made the team. I mean, his name is a story in itself. So, but think about who we have, man. We got Nate Hobbs, we got Jacorian Bennett, and we got Jack Jones. Obviously, Nate Hobbs is going to be in the slot. Jacorian Bennett, we've already said it, how he has improved so much, and it's been well documented, and so many people that I've talked to on Instagram that are right there on the ground with the Raiders. But I tend to agree with you because of what you said about Sam Webb, and then Jalen Guyton, man, that just hurts my heart.
I think Jalen Guyton probably won't. If he does make the practice squad and he clears waivers, that is good for us personally.
Mm-hmm.
But I just know with his speed and the type of player that he is, somebody out there is going to actually need a receiver when it comes to it. So I feel like Jalen Guyton, I hope he can make the practice squad, but I think he could go. I think he's going to go somewhere where he can actually get on the field immediately.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I see it. Just from a talent aspect, because he's fast and he can run routes really well. But let's just get into let's get into the 53-man roster of it. Hey K, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Thank you for coming through. We really do appreciate you. But let's just talk about the 53-man roster. Like let's just get straight to it, because I got it up here from the Raiders Instagram page. I'm gonna see if I can zoom this in a little bit, and I'm gonna be I mean, hopefully that could. Yeah, I think that's probably enough there. But
if not, if not, I got the depth chart up on another window. If you want me to throw that up there.
Actually, this is not the one. This is the 53-man roster is right here. I'm just waiting. Okay. So this is the 53-man roster here. They got it like slideshows here. So right now it's 2 quarterbacks on the roster, but according to Raider Resistance, if y'all follow him on, according to like the Raiders, they put Jacoby Myers and named him an emergency QB
quarterback. Mm-hmm.
As I understand that Jacoby Myers used to be a quarterback. I completely understand that. But I think that is the wrong move. If you want 3 quarterbacks on your roster and you make a wide receiver as an emergency quarterback, I'm not a big fan of.
Well, I think
you should have kept Carter. I think you should have kept Carter Bradley as your third quarterback.
But he's going to be on
the case.
But if he clears waivers, then he'll be on our practice squad.
Yeah, but now he'll be on our practice squad. But now you put Jacoby Myers on the depth chart as an emergency third, and I'm just not a fan of a wide receiver being an emergency third string quarterback. I understand he plays it in college. I get it, but I'm just not a fan of it.
Here's what I think about that. It could simply be an organizational or a roster ploy, because you don't necessarily have to have a quarterback as your emergency quarterback, because it's not going to affect your 53-man roster, nor is it going to affect your depth chart, other than him just being the emergency quarterback. So, I mean, did any of us really think that Nathan Peterman was going to make the squad? No, right? I mean, I'm going to say a resounding no, correct? So if that's the case, you don't have to spend another roster spot on your third quarterback, and you could name him, you can name Jacoby as your emergency, provided that your guy that you really want there to be your emergency quarterback, provided that he makes it through the waiver wire, and then you bring him back on the practice squad. Now, of course, we know that teams can sign anybody off of anybody's practice squad at any point of the season. So I believe wholeheartedly that they did weigh those pros and cons when it comes to that part of it.
Black, how do you feel about this with, having Jacoby Myers being named that emergency third string quarterback?
He's muted.
Well, I mean, I think they saw like just two quarterbacks that really could play, like that they could count on, and the other is just in the air. I think the Raiders will make a move during the season for a quarterback because, I mean, I just know that both these quarterbacks are going to play. They're both going to play probably about, I don't know, like 60-40, maybe 65-35, whatever it is. It's going to get to a point where we're going to need to sign a quarterback. And I think we're going to just sign a quarterback later. And the quarterback that we need isn't even on the horizon. So naming him as an emergency quarterback like Christian McCaffrey, or what game, who was that? Was the Eagles? No, yeah, it was Christian McCaffrey when the Eagles and the Niners played each other. Like, you really hope it don't ever come down to that. But I think that's one of those moves. Like, he's not gonna really. He's just emergency for real.
And the only reason why I say that, because do y'all remember the game winning that Chandler Jones intercepted Jacoby Myers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
This is exactly why I am concerned of him being an emergency third, because of shit like that. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I like what Carter Bradley did against the 49ers in the preseason game, but I understand what they're trying to do. But still, that comes out in the back of my mind every time. Now I'm hearing that Jacoby Myers is an emergency quarterback. That's the first thing I think of, is that interception for a touchdown.
But I mean, to Jacoby's defense, I mean, he has thrown a touchdown pass with the Raiders since then. Stall him out, man.
Yeah, I get it. But that interception was iconic. We was going into overtime on that game. And the fact that we didn't have to go into overtime because he threw it backwards back to Chandler Jones, then stiff arming Mac Jones in for a touchdown. I'm telling you, that's in the back of his head every time he goes into Allegiant Stadium. Every time.
Well, I'm glad we got him as a receiver and not as a quarterback.
Thanks. So let me see here. Oh, my bad. Okay, I know what I gotta do. I gotta do it like this. Okay. So wide receivers that we have Devontae Adams, of course, you see that as the number one. You see Jacoby Myers on there. You see Trey Tucker on there. DJ Turner, which he had a good preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek McAllister. Now, I thought Tyreek McAllister was a running back at first, but he's actually, I'm surprised that he put him on a wide receiver, put him on there as a wide receiver. And my boy from Tennessee, yes, I'm a Tennessee fan. I don't care. I'm going to be biased. My boy, Ramel Keaton, did his thing. And y'all see what he did in the preseason game against the 49ers. Y'all seen that.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the fourth. That's how he made the squad. But this man can run routes. He's tall. He's big. I like the wide receiver core. I mean, DJ Turner's a little bit on the smaller end. Tyreek McAllister, I know he's going to be more of a returner, kick returner, punt returner type of thing. But I kind of like our receiving core. Trey Tucker's look like he took a step up compared to what I've saw last year. So, what's your thoughts on the wide receiver position?
How many do we have? We have what?
1,
6?
2,
no, we have 5.
4, 5.
6.
No, we have 6. Devontae Adams, Trey Tucker, Jacoby Myers, DJ Turner, Tyreek McAllister, and Ramel Keaton. That's 6.
Okay. I don't know. Do y'all think that is, well, I guess in today's NFL, and with Luke Getsy. Do we think the 6 is too many?
Well, I
Because
mean,
look at it.
6 is too many, but I feel like you're going to see Devontae, you're going to see Trey, you're going to see Jacoby Myers, and you probably see a little bit of DJ Turner. But you're not. I'm telling you, when it comes to Ramel Keaton and Tyreek McAllister, I think they're going to be on special teams.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can see that we kept 4 running backs, and we kept 6 receivers, and we kept 4 tight ends.
Actually, it's 3.
Is it 3 tight ends?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to it. So it's 4 running backs, and it's 3 tight ends. Michael Mayer, Harrison Bryant, and Brock Bowers is the 3 tight ends that we kept.
Okay, so no Zach Gentry.
No, Zach Gentry got cut.
Okay,
he was on that. He was on that waivers.
Okay. So 3 tight ends, 4 running backs, 6 receivers, and like you said, 3 of those or 2 of those definitely will get special teams play. What do y'all think about and Amir Abdullah is going to be on special teams as well? But what do y'all think about him being 4th on the chart?
Well, I don't know if this is the actual depth chart. I think this is just the 53-man roster. I don't think he's 4th on the chart, in my opinion.
He's 4th. He's 4th.
I don't think he's going to be 4th. I think Dylan is going to be 4th. The undrafted free agent.
That's a story in itself. That kid made the team.
Or he might be. I think he might be more of a running back 3 than a 4, in my opinion. Because if you look at Zamir White, then you might have Alexander Madison, where you might have him in red zone situations, which I don't think you need to, because Zamir White is like he's just as big. But I mean, Amir Abdullah is more elusive than Alexander Madison. So for me personally, I like Zamir White at 1. I would have had Amir Abdullah at 2, Alexander Madison at 3, then Dylan at 4. That's how I would have put my depth chart. But this is just a list of players. This is not the actual official depth chart for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is just like what it is as of right now, as they release the 53-man roster.
Right. Okay. So let me can I show you this? Let me show you this.
So would you have the depth chart with you? But let me just get to the comments while you get to that real quick. Yeah, I just have to unshare it, and you could just go ahead and do it. But
actually, let me. Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna mess around with this. Go ahead.
All you gotta do is add it. I can add it to stage real quick.
Yeah, but I need to make sure I got the right window up. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, so this is the Raiders depth chart as of right now. I don't know if this is actually going to be legit. I really don't care for ESPN and their depth charts. I really just wait till I go to the actual Raiders website and do this. I don't know why they have Amir Abdullah as the 4th on the depth chart. That goes freaking crazy to me. That goes crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you look at it, like right now, you're gonna have a quarterback, running back. You got 3 receivers, a tight end. So you see how they got Brock Bowers over Michael Mayer?
But that's accurate though. That's gonna be shoot.
Zach Gentry got cut. See, that's why you see that on the roster there. Like some of these players got cut.
Right.
Some of these players got cut.
I get what you're saying. And I guess we can look at this as sort of like a snapshot or some sort of innuendo. And it's all gravy. But I think if there's so many ways we can look at this, y'all, especially from the inside out. I mean, obviously with the offensive line, how healthy are these dudes going to be going into week 1? Do we think that with the roster that we have and the running backs and keeping 3 tight ends and who Brock Bowers, of course, is really a hybrid because they can run a 31 out there and split him outside along with whatever. But do we really think, or do we hope, or do we think that the Raiders run pass balance or pass run balance, are we hoping that it will be like 40-60, 45-55, in favor of the run? I mean, what are we hoping here? Because I feel like with and we didn't even get a chance to talk about Gardner Minshew being the named the starter, but I feel like with those questions and it being like 55-45 run pass, with his ability to get out of the pocket, run nakeds and bootlegs and all that stuff, then it wouldn't be a far-fetched conclusion that we would have a running attack to that degree.
Now, for me, I mean, I don't know what Black thinks about this, but for me, I feel like the first thing you need to do is protect the football and avoid a lot of turnovers. And I know sometimes Gardner Minshew could be a quarterback where he can be a gunslinger and try to throw it into tight windows and stuff of that nature. But for me, I think you need to establish a run game for a type of quarterback that we have like Gardner Minshew. Me personally, I mean, you had Jonathan Taylor last year with the Indianapolis Colts, and you got Zamir White now, and all these other running backs. I think you need to establish a run before I think you need to be a little bit more balanced. In my personal opinion, I understand this is a passing league. I understand you want to throw the ball a lot, but sometimes you win those games. When you're running the football. You keep in the other opposing offense or high power offense or whoever it is on the sideline. So me personally, I think, Gardner Minshew is going to have to end up being a game manager. He's going to have to be. That's just how I see it, like the first couple of weeks until everybody get accumulated, because you got to think about it. Everybody didn't play in preseason. So now you got till this week, you got to end the next week to gel as a first team unit to get this offense to work. So for me, I'll say, listen, just run the football down their throat. If they don't stop it, then just keep going at it.
Right.
You just keep going at it. We got a good blocking tight end in Brock Bowers. Michael Mayer is getting better as a blocking tight end. Running the football opens up play action. So
which I think Gardner's pretty good at.
Right. Agreed. But I just don't want Luke Getsy going out there and putting Gardner Minshew throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Black. What you got, Black?
I think we're gonna be like a 60-40 team. I mean, we're gonna try to aim for 50-50 somewhere in there, but it's a passing league, so we're gonna throw the ball. I think we're gonna be like not behind in a lot of games, but we're gonna be right there in the games where we're gonna have to make, plays. Because we're gonna always have pressure on us because we're not gonna be a come from behind type team. So we gotta consistently do what we do. But we're gonna lean a little bit more to the pass. I don't know how it's gonna work out. I don't think it's gonna be necessarily a bad thing. I don't know, because I think Gardner gonna do all right. He'll do all right. I think he'll do better than what he showed in the preseason, because he didn't know that the job was his or not. But I don't know. It's just kind of see what kind of synergy our team has with these new pieces and with a new running game, and let's just see what we come up with. Because like I said, I don't usually wake up to about game 3 now. I'm up, so let's see what they're gonna do, and I'll have a good idea after probably about week 4, week 5 what we working with. But right now, I think we'll be about 60-40 pass. I think we'll be all right.
Okay.
Go ahead, D.
So let me just go back to the Raiders Instagram and look at the rest of this actual 53-man roster personally, because I mean, this roster, I kind of like it because you want to, give these young guys a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really too mad at it. So we did that. We did the receivers. Okay, this is the offensive line here. Now, this is something that I really want to look into because the only way all of this works with these receivers and running backs, you got to have an offensive line to actually protect. So, Colton Miller, we all know. Jordan Meredith, I'm kind of surprised that he still made the team. I'm not a big fan of Jordan Meredith, but I do like Cody White here. Dylan Parham, not a big fan of Andre James. Jackson Power Johnson, I think he's off the Pope list if I'm not mistaken, right?
He is.
TJ Glaze, he had a great preseason. Austin Pete, Aldris Pete. Besides that one sack that he allowed on Aiden O'Connell, not too mad at it. I think Thayer Mumford is a good tackle as well. How y'all feel about this list of offensive linemen here? And who you like and who you don't like, or do you like everybody on this roster?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that. I know you're not a fan of James, but I think we're going to see a different James this year in Getsy's run scheme. He's going to get an opportunity to combo block, so he's going to get some help on that. Colton Miller, he obviously is the anchor of the line, so he has to stay healthy, dude. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But what I think I'm most excited about this line is that we got depth.
Yeah, we talked about it in a few other podcasts. There, yeah, we have depth. I think this is the only year I can say that we have depth at the offensive line.
Yeah, and it's like if so we know if Miller goes out or whatever, we may have to move Parham. I mean, I'm not Parham. We have to move Thayer over to the left if something happens, but the depth is there, and that makes me feel a lot better. Now, can they gel? Can they stay healthy and can they gel? That is the big issue or the big question, because the Raiders O-line the last couple of years, outside of being injured, has been a top 12 offensive line.
Yeah, without being injured, the only thing I like just looking at film with Andre James, he's just a little bit on the small side of a center.
Yeah,
for me. Sometimes he do get like blown up in situations where it's just one-on-one. It's not like he has to pick up a blitz or something of that nature. He does get blown off the ball after he snaps. I have seen plays that he did, and like he's a little bit on a smaller side as a center, but long as you have a collective same consistency out of your offensive line, that's what makes everything else work. Because without this core, nothing else works on this football field offensively. You don't have a running back. You don't have receivers. You don't have a quarterback. And people fail to forget that. Like, yeah, the quarterback, he throws the ball, he scores touchdowns, but the only way that happens if your offensive line protects.
Yeah. Ask Aaron Rodgers from last year.
See, I wasn't even going to go there. Willie. See, I'm not even going to go there. But I'm just saying that just goes for anybody in the league, but just for us, protection is going to be needed. And I don't know who's going to start out of these five. Me, if I had to make a prediction right now, of course, Colton Miller is going to start. I think it's going to be Colton Miller, Cody White here, Andre James, Dylan Parham, or see, I don't know the thing with Jackson Power Johnson. I don't know his injury status. That's why I put Dylan Parham there, and then I might put Thayer Mumford or Pete there at tackle. Personally, I'm just not a big fan of Jordan Meredith. I know he gave up a few sacks last year, but I like TJ Glaze at tackle. But that's a rookie going up against a Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa in week 1. Do you really want to put him out there for that? Even though they still on the older side of things, do you really want to put a rookie out there against Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa? Me personally, no, I don't.
I think he can hold his own.
I don't know.
I think he can. I think he's going to surprise you. If he's out there, I think he'll surprise you.
Black, what you think?
Yeah,
that might be more hard talking.
I'm glad we got like some level of depth. and then they're also with players that we're familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's good because we were, you know, kind of trying to play the little shifting game a little bit last year to see who fits where and who does best. And you always kind of run into that with the offensive line as the season goes on and injuries happen. And then you kind of, you know, play what they call that. What's that when you play when they play the music and they stop and you sit down? Musical chairs. You play musical linemen like at the end of the year. So I'm happy that we got players that we know what they can do. And hopefully, you know, just like Colton, there's a jump between years, you know, like progression with these young players that we're being patient with. And then somebody like stands out this year, like you said, Mumford might make a leap or, you know, something that we didn't see. But I feel good overall with what we got. I don't feel like we have a line where I'm like, well, we got an obvious leak here and an obvious leak there all the time. So we got something to work with, you know.
That's why I think we'll run. I think we'll run the ball effectively, just because of the attributes of what we have. Because if you watch Jackson Power Johnson in college when they ran the football, he was just a beast. Like he took no, he just took no bullshit when it came to the offensive line. He was just that good at running the ball, passing as well. But I just love when offensive linemen get out in front and they pull and they get around to them corners and they just lay them out like that. Just gets I don't know what it does to me, but it's just like, damn, like and me being on a bigger side of playing fullback and running back and seeing them big mother, yeah, just getting in front of you. Right. So I love when they get out and be athletic and get out and pull and do trap plays and stuff of that nature. So I love it. I love it. I'm just not I don't know. Jordan Meredith got to grow on me. I just know sometimes he just need to stay the hell still. No more offsides with you. Okay. No false starts with you, Jordan Meredith.
Hey, D, I think this says a lot right here about DPJ. And John B says he held his own against Max. Now you think about it. Do we think that? Go ahead. Do
you think that he will hold his own in live play if he was on a different team against Max Crosby?
Well,
let's be realistic here.
But wait a minute though, because you can look at that a couple different ways. Number one, if Max Crosby is in practice and it's a live practice, you know he's going all out 100% every play. So if that's the case, then absolutely I think he would. Now, would he dominate Max Crosby and win win the game or win the matchup within the game for the entire game? Probably not. But if you can hold your own against Max Crosby, do we think that Joey Bosa is better than Max Crosby?
We're not saying that, but we know the caliber of what Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack are. We just know that caliber.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
and you're putting TJ Glaze out there week 1 in LA against those two, knowing they're gonna be flip-flopping sides.
Right.
You think TJ Glaze is ready for
that? We'll find out. I don't know, man. This is the best thing to speculate about what we got and what we've seen so far through our training camp and through the preseason. My thing is will he get completely dominated and get run over and allow Khalil Mack to have 5 sacks in one game like what happened last year? I don't think that wouldn't happen. If he gets 2 sacks, that's 3 sacks better than what happened last year, which means what? It's gonna preserve a drive or two here and there. And then on top of that, he can stay in front of either one of those guys just long enough for Gardner Minshew to use his legs. So there's a lot of other things that go within that, D. And I think you would agree that split second or that split half second for a quarterback that has the mobility that Gardner does, as opposed to the mobility that Aiden doesn't have.
I completely understand that, but sometimes Gardner Minshew, he has to not rush to run out of the pocket.
I got that. All things.
If it's there for him to run out of pocket, do it. But if you're there and you have a clean pocket, don't force yourself out of it. Step up and throw the ball.
Yeah, but I'm saying with all things being equal, though. I mean, obviously we know that's one of Gardner's flaws. We know that, but I'm talking about if with all things being equal and the opportunity or the disadvantage of what Khalil Mack brought last year with the funk that he did with those 5 sacks is a different energy than what it would be this year against that kid. I believe that.
I think Gardner won't flush the pocket as much if he has confidence in the line. Usually when a quarterback break the pocket like that, it's because he have lack of confidence in the line. And with the teams that he played with, I mean, I could kind of see why he would think like that. Now, if that's his default, like as soon as he feel a little pressure, he up out of there, that's going to be a problem. Like to me, that's not something that a seasoned quarterback does. Like excuse me, I would expect AOC to do something like that, which he doesn't really do. So that's a good thing for him. So I'm hoping that like the line gives him some stability to stay in there in the pocket some. I was wondering what you guys thought about the decision at quarterback since we didn't go on, since we had a bye week last week. What do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about the eventual quarterback being named as Minshew Manchu Pitchu, Gardner Minshew, hope you miss you? How y'all feel about it?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of Raider Nation does not like this decision at all. Just from what I've seen, you like from what I've seen, they thought like, oh my god.
You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
That's why I was rubbing my head, bro. That's exactly why I was rubbing my head like this. But I feel like the Raider Nation is not too pleased about it, but they're going to deal with it. I'm gonna say this, and I know this might be a little bit off topic, but it has something to do with quarterbacks. Now, when it comes to your number one receiver in Devontae Adams, how long has he been here? 3 years, right? This will be his 3rd year with us, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So in the last 3 years, this will be his 3rd year with his 3rd different quarterback, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this does not shape out for them to get chemistry, because if you notice with Devontae Adams, he only had one consistent quarterback his first couple, most of his career in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. And you see how that worked with their chemistry. Now he's going into his 3rd quarterback with Gardner Minshew that is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, in my opinion. Porn star Jimmy. But if this doesn't work out in Raider Nation, I'm sorry to say this, Devontae's going to win out. If this does not work with Gardner Minshew or Aiden O'Connell, I'm telling you right now, he's going to win out. And I'm being a realistic Raider fan. People might not like what I say, but if Gardner Minshew doesn't do his job on this football field and overthrows Devontae Adams like Jimmy did all last year, Devontae's going to win out. But for me, I understand why Antonio Pierce with experience for Gardner Minshew over Aiden O'Connell, and because he's a little bit more mobile than Aiden O'Connell, I understand why. But it is what it is. It's Gardner Minshew's job at this point. But I just had to throw that little wrinkle in there when it comes to DA.
If that happens.
Yeah. If that happens. I think, like I said, I think they should have. I think by starting Gardner first, if he don't work and AOC come in and don't stop the dumpster fire, then it's hard to go back to Gardner. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when Devontae gonna get to acting up. because they'll give him a chance again. And if it don't work out in a game or two, you're going to see that look on his face. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see, y'all know what the look like. And so by starting AOC first, it was his team. And then if Gardner comes in and then, do good, and then he fall off a little bit and they battle it, it's kind of like, it's not as bad as, we don't want to go 1-3 in the first 4 games, so we're going to go with the experienced quarterback. But if for some reason we end up 1-3 with Gardner Minshew, then the season going to look some type of way. It's going to look some type of way.
But I could say this, Black. Look at the chemistry that AOC was building with Davante Adams at the end of the year as the quarterback. If you would have kept AOC as the starter, it's all about building chemistry with your quarterback and your receiver. So now he's coming in trying to rebuild a chemistry with a different quarterback with Gardner Minshew now. And knowing that Davante Adams didn't play not one preseason game, but he did practice with him. Yeah, practice is practice. But he did not get any type of kid. We didn't see that because, of course, Davante had his child in the second preseason game, if I'm not mistaken. The first preseason game, Davante didn't play. Last preseason game, Gardner or Davante didn't play. So that chemistry is going to be a little out of sync in week 1 or week 2. In my personal opinion, because it takes a while to build chemistry between a quarterback and a wide receiver. And I think he was building that chemistry with AOC in them last 9 games that AOC played. He was building that chemistry, but now it's like we have to rebuild that and redo it all over again because of a new starting quarterback this year. So I'm looking forward to how this goes out. But Willie, what's your thoughts?
I think we may not be putting enough, or we may be putting too much emphasis on the chemistry between AOC and Davante. It's not like they just signed Gardner Minshew last week. I mean, he's been there for a full offseason, so the opportunity for them to get work has been there. Obviously, not playing in the preseason, yeah. I mean, but did we really expect for Davante to really play in the preseason? No, we didn't, or at least I didn't. So I think we may be overstating that, maybe just a little bit. Not to say that it's not important. It absolutely is. But there's a possibility that we could be overstating that just a tad. And the fact that it was such a back and forth competition between Gardner and AOC is the fact that they would have both gotten equal amounts of work with both quarterbacks. And then there towards the end, when it probably started looking like that Gardner was going to be the guy, then that was more of an opportunity for them to get more work together. But to answer to look at, or to piggyback on what Black said about Davante having that look on his face, and if it's not going the way that all of us wanted to go and him wanting out, would that necessarily be a bad thing? If we're at that point in the season and the 3 of the 4 wheels have fallen off, would it be that bad of a deal to go ahead and trade him and get something for him as opposed to whatever else?
No, not at all. Not at all. Actually, I would just feel bad for Davante because they brought him in under the guise of playing with DC, and then they got it all sabotaged, and now he was sitting here looking like, I'm about to make the best out of Aaron O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Gardner Minshew. Like, how the hell do I leave Aaron Rodgers to get that? Like, that would make me feel some type of way for sure. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't care what nobody say. Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels did that to be smart. They knew they never wanted Derek Carr as their quarterback coming in as the coach and GM. They knew that. So you know what they did? Okay, we're going to try to scapegoat you and be like, okay, we're going to get Davante Adams, your best friend that you played with in college, the godfather of your children, and bring him here. And then now he comes here and then, we're going to release you. Oh, okay. We know what the Raiders was doing at that. Like this is why I feel that even though I'm going off the grid, but Mark Davis did a badass decision in getting Josh McDaniels, because I knew Josh McDaniels was going to go get Jimmy Garoppolo after he got hired. We knew this was going to happen. So now you go out and you trade for Devontae Adams. Now he has 3 quarterbacks in after post Derek Carr era, which the Raiders didn't have no plan after Derek Carr. So now we're in a quarterback situation again. So I'm not mad if Devontae Adams wants to be traded. But the thing about it is we have to get something better or at least good back in return for him. We're not going to get, if we're just going to get draft picks, they did like, for real, the Jets been talking about, it's been rumored about him wanting to go to the Jets because Aaron Rodgers is there. If the Jets are interested in getting Devontae Adams, right? Think about this. What the hell are we getting back? We're not getting Garrett Wilson. That damn sure ain't trading Garrett Wilson for no Devontae Adams now. So what are we going to get back in return?
Draft picks.
And it's not going to be a bunch of peanuts for Devontae Adams. And you got to look at that wide receiving core after Devontae Adams get traded.
Yeah, well, piece something together because we need draft picks because we're not going to get no players from over there like that. Like they're trying to build something too, so I don't know. Like we should get something for him because I don't see how this is going to end well. I just don't. It's kind of like, like you be at your family house and then you be messing up. This is back in the day, and you about to get a whooping when you get home and you that wrong ride in the car and you don't say nothing. That's what I think it's like. I think it's like we just gonna sit back and wait and see if they forget or not, or if we was good enough that we ain't gonna get in trouble. Because I don't know how this gonna end up well unless we come out playing like really, really decent football.
Facts.
Yeah. And truth be told,
we gotta win this year. We gotta win this year. We have to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, truth be told, number one, I don't think Devontae Adams left Aaron Rodgers. I think he just left Green Bay.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. And for that to happen the way that it did, yeah, Derek Carr was not the same quarterback in Vegas that he was at Fresno State. I mean, and Devontae Adams is markedly better now, or during his prime. I would say that he's on the downslide of his prime, even though he's still in it. But we know that Devontae is a much better receiver now than he was at wide. Man, when Devontae first came in the league, bro, he had the serious case of the drops.
Man,
serious.
Playing with Derek Carr, though.
I get what you're saying, Willie. I get what you're saying. But building a chemistry between a quarterback and a wide receiver is very important in this league.
Yeah.
Agreed, and if you keep getting a different quarterback every single year, how do you build consistency between a quarterback and a receiver when you're getting a different quarterback every year?
Right.
Now, do we really know that Gardner Minshew's going? Do we know if Gardner Minshew's going to be the starter next year? Probably not. Who knows?
Yeah.
We might draft our quarterback next year. That'll be a 4th different quarterback that he has to build chemistry with.
Well, by the time we get to that point, we will know where we are in the season. So it will be time to make a business decision and go ahead and honor the dude's wishes so he can be traded to a contender. We just got to make sure we get ample compensation coming back.
Then the only thing I can say, if the Jets decides to want to trade, the only person I can say that we'll probably get that's looking to be traded is Hassan Reddick. That's the only thing that we could probably get from the Jets is Hassan Reddick, which won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. He did win a Super Bowl with the Eagles.
He was on that team with when they beat.
No, they went to the Super Bowl. He went to the Super Bowl with them. He didn't win.
Right,
he went
right.
To Super Bowl with them. They lost to the Chiefs. Right. So that's the only thing I can say that we get back and compensate some draft picks in Hassan Reddick. Because Hassan Reddick is still on holdout. He's still looking for a contract. He's not coming. He's not coming to the Jets no time soon. That's the only thing I can really say as an option, which I don't want Devontae to be traded, but I kind of understand why Devontae is, if things don't work out, is going to be frustrating for him to stay here.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody in Raiders Nation wants him to be traded right now. But if the wheels start falling off around week 6, week 7, and then the trade deadline is looming, and we're sitting at 3-5, you know what? I don't mind trading them out. I don't think Antonio Pierce and Telesco and Marvin Lewis and the rest, I don't think they'll be stupid enough to where they won't get what is considered to be ample compensation for a receiver that has been consistently a top 5 receiver in the league since he's been in the league, since his rookie year. I don't think they would be dumb enough to trade him away for peanuts. But at the same time, let me ask y'all this, because I'm not sure of his contract situation. All of his guaranteed money is up after this year, right?
Yeah.
So if we released him, which would just be a complete slap in the face, but if we released him, wouldn't we be on the hook for some dead money?
I think so. I think we'll be on the hook for some dead money. But so I still feel like. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So if say all those things are true, right? What would be the purpose of keeping him at that point? Even, I mean, at week 8, week 9, before the deadline, what will be the point of keeping him at that point? There won't be any. We can't cut him.
It wouldn't be
yeah. So for Devontae, as a fan of Devontae Adams and what he has done throughout his career, and the fact that he has never been in trouble and that he brought some excitement to the Raiders and he got a chance to play with his college buddy, out of respect for him, I would grant that.
So Raider Kojo, he said, but what if the Jets are 3-5 at that trade deadline? Then what? Then you're going to trade Devontae Adams to you're going to trade him somewhere where a team is winning.
No. But the Jets at that point won't be trying to make.
You're not going to trade Devontae Adams. That the Raiders, if the Raiders are 3-5 and the Jets are 3-5, we're not trading Devontae Adams to a losing team. I just don't see that happening.
And the Jets, the Jets would be stupid if they did that.
Well, I would say the Jets being 3-5 would be different than the Raiders being 3-5, though, because if the Raiders go 3-5 in our division, it's over for us. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't know with the Jets. You don't know. I don't know what their division gonna look like for real, because Aaron Rodgers and them, if they really legit go on like a 3-4 game winning streak, then that changes the complexion of everything they trying to get in from a wild card position. We go 3-5 and we don't have no identity as a team. We're not beating Kansas City, and we always gonna have an issue like we're gonna split with the Chargers somehow. We can mess around and sweep Denver, but we're still not gonna make the playoffs. So I just don't think our 3-5 would be the same as the Jets 3-5. But that's a good point though, because we might be able to get more.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Jets are in there with the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Patriots, who the Patriots, they're like a minor league team at this point. But
Miami overrated.
But in that division, though, using your logic, though, in that division, that's 2 wins over New England. You would assume.
Yeah.
That's at least 1 win over the Jets
with the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to say,
we have beat the Chiefs before, Ray Love. I completely agree with you there. We have beat them before, but we have to see if Gardner Minshew can beat them offensively, not AOC. That's what I'm saying.
AOC helped beat them last year. No, not really.
Not really. We just ran the football effectively. That's what we did. We ran the football effectively. That's how we beat them. Basically, and our defense did what we had. We actually played old school football, run the football and play defense. That's exactly what we did.
Yo, we already an hour in, fellas. Let's get to some of these comments, man. Let me throw some up there.
Is that the Ray Love? Like, you got to get your money on Ray Love? Like,
this dude here.
Let me see. I don't know. I mean, like, from the Bay Area.
Ray Love, are you from the Bay?
I'm just asking.
Yeah, let's find out if he's from the Bay.
Checking ain't cheating, P.
Yeah, so unless something serious, both quarterbacks are tough enough to finish. I feel like that we kept McAllister, that just like having a speedy back that can do it all. We got these, y'all. You know what? McAllister kind of reminds me.
They have McAllister listed as a receiver and not a running back. So I'm confused about that. I thought he was a running back.
Guess who that reminds me of? Y'all remember Dexter McCluster?
Yeah.
That kind of, because Dexter McCluster came in as a running back, but he also was a kick returner and a punt returner, and they lined him up outside sometimes. So again, it could be just because you could just be throwing somebody, you could just be throwing a position on him to prevent or to prevent or to keep from having to use an extra roster spot on a actual position, like a bona fide one position. If he's listed as a receiver, then that makes us have 6 receivers. But if he's listed as a running back, then that gives us 5 running backs.
So it's like college football. Like, instead of listing them as a position, you listed them as an athlete in college football. Basically, yeah. Basically,
yeah.
Because I always knew, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm going off things here, but like, if you ever played a college football game back in the day, and you did the recruitment portion of it, you're like, what the hell was ATH or something like that? I'm like, what the hell is these 3 initials? And I'm thinking, oh, he's just an athlete. He don't actually have a position. Got it.
Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers.
He's Jacoby Myers is a receiver. Stop saying this man's a quarterback. He's not. No, stop. No, we're not doing that.
No, but seriously though, he could have been an athlete, because if you think about it, he's run reverses. He obviously catches passes and he throws passes. Okay, I might be reaching a little bit.
Yeah, I'm reaching with the throwing pass there. You're reaching with that. Yeah. I was about to say, wait a minute, man. Like, you kind of reaching with that one.
Yeah, like, I'm reaching a little bit there.
He threw a pick 6. You know what I'm saying? So
Ray Love says, "Nah, I ain't from the Bay." Okay, so there's your answer.
It's all good. I thought you was the one from the rapper from the Bay named Ray Love, but shout out to you because you're a mod. So shout out to you.
Yeah, shout out to Ray Love. Been around for a minute, man. That's one thing I can say. But defensively, now we did talk about the cornerback position already. We didn't talk about any other position as far as on the defensive side of the ball. The defensive line is pretty stacked. I don't know if y'all saw the 53-man roster for the defensive line, but you have, and I know people about to say this question right here.
Tyree Wilson.
Yes, Tyree Wilson. How the heck he make this roster?
Because he was the 7th pick overall 2 years ago. They're not gonna give up on that dude that quick.
I get it, but this is our defensive line with Max Crosby leading the way, Tyree Wilson, Malcolm Coombs, Adam Butler, Byron Young, Christian Wilkins, John Jenkins, Janaris Robinson, which I think he had a great preseason personally, and Nesta Jade Severia. My guy Matthew Butler didn't make it. I thought he would have made it over Byron Young, but that's just me being Tennessee biased because I don't like Alabama. Screw Alabama. F them. F Alabama. F the SEC. If it's not Tennessee, it's not nobody. That's just how I see it. But
tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. Byron Young is a Raider, but college wise, because I'm in a college football mode. You know, college football week 1 is this week, so I'm in a kind of college football mode. So F Byron Young, F Byron Young, college football wise. But what do y'all think about this defensive line here? Do y'all like the depth of this, or like who's that? You think okay? Malcolm Kuntz is definitely going to take a leap. I just don't know where's the leap because him and Max and Christian's going to be on the outsides. But I did say they did talk about putting him at like a little bit like a hybrid linebacker as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know. But what are y'all thoughts about the defensive line?
Can Malcolm cover? Can he cover at all? Okay.
That we don't know.
They won't use him for that.
Well,
going to use run stop situations.
So maybe he can move. He'll move to a hybrid in the nickel or dime package, right? A stand up. He'll basically be a stand up rusher.
Yeah, stand up rusher, basically.
Okay. How long has it been since we've been able to say that the strength of the Raiders team is the defense? I'll wait.
I mean, the strength of our team.
Yeah.
The defense has never been this strong.
Not since Charles Woodson and Romanowski and
technically you're saying 2002, right?
Woodson, yep. Rod Woodson and Eric Allen and all them.
Let me just break it down. That was 23 seasons ago.
Facts.
There's a lot of people out there that's not even 23 years old. That's how long it's been since we can say that the Raiders defense is the strength of the team. So with that being said, I don't really have a whole lot of concerns about the Raider defense other than, of course, the obvious, which is injury. So we're going to throw that aside because everybody has that caveat if we're able to stay healthy. Okay, that bodes for anybody that's playing in the NFL, that's a firefighter, that's a pastry chef. If you can stay healthy, that's the caveat. So the Raiders defense, should they not underperform, and everything that we have seen since Patrick Graham has taken over as the DC has shown us that there's been improvement after improvement after improvement. If anything, this is the year where the Raiders defense should become a top 5 defense. When's the last time you said that? Yes.
This is why I think we're not going to be a top 5, but we will be between 10 and 15. Because look at this linebacker core. I love Robert Spillane. I love Devon Diablo. But look at the rest of that. You still have a young guy in Tommy Otchenberg that just got drafted. Amari Gaynor, undrafted free agent, had a great preseason. Armani Burney has to make a leap. Luke Masterson has to make a leap. And Kana Muaga, I don't even know who this guy is. As I watch the preseason games, what did he do? This is the weakest part of our defense is this linebacker depth. I'm sorry to say. This is what makes us not a top 5 because we need dogs outside of Robert Spillane and Devon Diablo. We need dogs outside of that.
Okay,
Tommy Otchenberg comes from Ohio State where linebackers are made. I get that. But he's a rookie. Do we want to put all that pressure on him? So I think this is the only reason that hurts us is this right here is our linebacker depth. But I do like our defense overall, but I just think this is the only weakest part of our defense is the linebacking core.
I feel you. Okay, I can respect that. But my pushback to that would be what I said previously earlier in my statement, that I remember wanting to have Patrick Graham tarred and feathered and then stoned. I don't have those feelings about him anymore because he's gotten these dudes to play up. And that's the confidence I have with these guys that you just mentioned, that he's going to get them to play up because everybody's been playing up since that first year. Of course, it all boils down to execution, but that gives me hope in the fact that we've seen that.
And just to push back on that, just as Ray Love said, it starts in the trenches. Yes, it does. But inexperience could really, really hurt on a play that we need. Like inexperience could really hurt us, because some of these like Tommy Eichenberg, Amari Gainer, Amari Burney, Luke Masterson, and I don't even know who the Muaga guy is. I never saw him at all in preseason. I watched all 3 preseason games. I didn't see him. Who is he? So I'm kind of confused on who this guy is. So it gives me a little bit of a question mark. Yes, I love Robert Spillane. I love Devon Diablo. Those guys have made their leaps. Robert Spillane was already good when he was in Pittsburgh. Devon Diablo, he came from being a safety, turned into linebacker out of Virginia Tech. So they have made their leaps. It's just the rest of that. It's just the rest of that depth chart for linebackers that I'm concerned about.
Right. Yeah, and depth is always a concern. So I feel you there.
Oh, thank you, Ray Love. I mean, it is a fire hat. I got plenty of these, but yeah, I just had to reply back to that. But any thoughts on his linebackers, Black?
I like our linebackers. I do. I don't like. I've always had a problem with Devon Diablo. Like, he up and down. Not to mention, I just don't like his name, but that's just me being me. but with that aside, though, he earned his position, though. So I ain't going to play like that, though, because he definitely earned his position. I just think we just like one linebacker away from really. If we talking top 5, we one linebacker away from being able to be there like 3 years in playing good, because to be a top 5 defense, that's a built defense. That's not like a defense that just popped up this year and they just was good. I would think those defenses are already pretty much good, but getting better, and then get pieces to get great to be top 5. And us just having one good year of defense, I'm not that sold on us. I don't want to have the 49er syndrome, like, oh, we think we right there, like at any moment. Like, nah.
It got to be consistency from the defense every single year for me.
We built that defense. That defense was built together like that. It didn't just be good. And not to mention, a lot of them was like real vets. I'm talking about vets. I'm talking about where it might would have took 4 years for them to gel together. It might only take 2 because they're vets like that. We don't have that right now. We got some young guys. So I just think I think we one linebacker away. I like our secondary and our D-line. I think our D-line is beastie. I think we cool with the D-line. I just want to see how we stop the run.
And you know what? You guys are actually making me reconsider what I said. And the reason why I say that is because the linebacker concerns, I think, are very valid. And here's one thing that you guys didn't mention. Man, our linebackers are small. They are small.
But they
Amari Gainer he's pretty solid. He's pretty stacked.
No, I'm talking about Diablo and Spillane.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but Spillane tackles though.
And Spillane is a damn good cover linebacker too.
Yeah, Robert Spillane is pretty. Devon Diablo is 6'3", 223.
Yeah, but like you say, he's more like a safety type guy. But the thing about even being undersized, even if you are good, they could
Robert Spillane is 6'1", 229. I'm looking at all the linebackers right now. So Devon Diablo was 6'3", 227. Robert Spillane 6'1", 229. Armani Burney 6'2", 228. Tommy Eichenberg 6'2", 239. Marty Gainer 6'2", 6'3", 236 out of North Carolina. Luke Masterson 6'1", 220.
Oh yeah.
And Muaga is 6'2", 245.
So you know what that means?
So Marty Gainer is probably our tallest linebacker at 6'3", 236.
But you know what that means though? That means that those D tackles, man, they're gonna have to eat up some space. They're gonna have to get penetration. I mean against the run, not necessarily against the pass, because
Yeah.
our linebackers' strength is defending the pass. So, but in the run game, I mean, those D tackles, they gonna have to get after it, bro.
Yeah, and I think our D tackles can get after it. I really think they are, just with the rotation of having John Jenkins, Janarius Robinson, and hopefully Byron Young can make that leap. And the only way that's going to happen, our D tackles are going to have to get it, and we're going to have to stunt. Like, I don't want to keep bull rushing over. Let's confuse that offensive line with stunts with our D ends and D tackles, stunts with our defensive tackles or linebackers, stunts with our D ends and outside linebackers. You got to confuse the offensive line defensively. You have to do that. So all that bully rush, man on man stuff is, you probably can get to the quarterback a few times, but once you confuse them on who they need to block at the initial snap, then I think our linebackers will be fine. They just got to learn how to make sure they make sure they scrape over, but don't overdo it.
Don't overcommit.
The lane. Don't overcommit. So I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right at linebacker. I just think it's going to be a lot of coaching up that, Patrick Graham's going to have to do, especially with Antonio Pierce being a linebacker himself. So he's going to have to come in and step in on that as well. But we are at the corner, the D-backs position here. As far as defense, of course, Nate Hobbs, Ja'Cory Bennett, MJ, Devonshire, Cameron Richardson, and Brandon Faison as your corners, and then as your safety, you have Marcus Epps, Trayvon Morig, Isaiah Palomau, and Chris Smith II. What are your thoughts about this secondary that made the 53-man roster? I already said what I said about Brandon Faison. I just got to see him be healthy 100%. But outside of him, what are your thoughts about this?
Jack Jones is going to be the key. We know what Nate can do in the slot. That obviously is his strength, man to man in the slot, which I think would be great for playing against those teams that like to line their best receivers up in the slot, or that short motion to the slot. Nate Hobbs can take care of that. I'm looking forward to what Ja'Cory is going to show in his improvement. If that kid shows improvement and is consistent with it, man, Morik, he's gotten better every year. Marcus Epps, I mean, he's a steady vet. I like him.
He was a part of that shit. Now, he was the one that was part of that championship team with the Eagles.
Marcus Epps?
Yeah, I think he was a part of that championship team. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so the D line and the secondary, I have no issues with.
Okay. I think Isaiah Palomau, I liked how he played last year too. I want to see more of Chris Smith. Honestly, I know he didn't do well last year, but I do want to see more of him as well. But I do like Ja'Cory Bennett. I was a big fan of Ja'Cory Bennett at Maryland coming out. I like these two guys in MJ, Devonshire, Cameron Richardson. They played really well in the preseason. Like I said, the weakest link for me is Brandon Faison. I just got to see him, how he produces when he's healthy. I understand he's a big corner. He's a veteran corner. Probably the oldest corner on this roster outside of Jack Jones. He's probably the oldest corner on this roster, if I'm not mistaken. So that's our vet right there.
Yeah, that youth is.
We're going to need him on the field.
Yeah, that youth is going to be. It could be super, or it could be kryptonite.
Facts.
But the thing is that, I mean, I think our secondary, man, with what we were able to do against Patrick Mahomes on Christmas Day, that generated so much confidence in that unit. That's why I'm like, Ja'Cory, if he brings it the way that we hope and think that he can, man, that's just extra gravy on top of the mashed potatoes, homie.
Black, what's your thoughts on the D-back position between like the corners and the safeties? What's your thoughts about this? Who all made the team?
I like our D-backs and our safeties. I like our versatility in the sense of Palomalu. He'll be able to play some corner a little bit, maybe like in a dime or a nickel or something when somebody's slipping or whatever. So I like the growth of our, like I said, like in order to build a good defense, you got to play some years together. And I'm starting to see them starting to gel together. And now we just got to see how they play under fire. Because like I said, I think they're going to have a lot of stress on them because of the offense this year. If the offense could be like a middle of the pack offense, then I could see us being a top 8 defense, like a top 8, top 7 defense. But as long as our offense is going to be going 3 and out and shit like that, the defense is going to be out there too much. Now, if they go out there and make plays, the plus minus, if we can win the plus minus, oh yeah, then we in the game. But I just I don't know. I don't know. But I do feel confident that we at least have a back end that I don't have to worry about. Damn, nobody into the area. This dude is catching the ball. Damn, what scheme we running? Damn, we only got one corner on the field. Like I don't feel like that. So I'm cool. We just gotta get it together, hone it in, and see if we can really like build off that Kansas City, because a lot of people like to hang their hat on that Kansas City game. Well, if that's what we're gonna do, then we need to keep building from that point on, not regress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look at what we did. Look at what we did in that game. I mean, we ran the rock down their throat. You know, we got sacks, got pressure with 4, got turnovers into touchdowns, got defensive touchdowns. So yeah, it's 100. Oh, you know what? Ja'Cory Bennett just talked to me. He just, hey man, where'd y'all go? Oh,
I'm just trying to fix it. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ja'Cory Bennett just said, I don't know if y'all remember this, but this is what he's telling me right now.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me.
Jesus Christ. So we got a question from Ray Love here before we head out. He said, what are your thoughts on releasing 2 quarterbacks? We all, I kind of thought that, I ain't gonna lie, I thought Nathan Peterman was going to, I thought he was going to make the roster. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really thought that he was going to make the roster. Unfortunately, listen, the Raiders love Nathan Peterman. I don't know what it is about his like the Raider Nation love for him. I just don't get it, but I'm gonna just mind my business on that one. But
I thought he was gonna make the roster too, Brody. So you don't feel like the Lone Ranger. I thought he was gonna make the roster too.
Well, I don't know
what his fandom is with the Raiders, but he always finds his way back to us. No matter what team he goes through previously, he always finds his way back here with the Shield. But Carter Bradley, I think he's going to make the practice squad. I think that's going to be the quarterback, just in case hypothetically, and God forbid nothing happened to either of our quarterbacks on this depth chart. So I do like Carter Bradley. If he clears waivers, he stays with us. So hopefully that actually happens. Because I'm not gonna lie, I liked Carter Bradley. I did. I liked him against the 49ers. I think he did really, really well. Him and Ramel Keaton did have a chemistry there. So I did like that. What was your thoughts on it? Like, how y'all feel about releasing 2 quarterbacks in training camp?
I ain't surprised. I mean, you're gonna have one quarterback on the practice squad. Just depends on, what happens with the waivers. But I don't have an issue with it, and it's not surprising to me at all. Rarely do NFL teams keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster these days.
Well, the Cleveland Browns got 4 quarterbacks on their roster.
Yeah, but that's rare.
On a 53-man roster. It's rare, but I think a lot of teams are starting to see to have 3 quarterbacks because they have a lot of young quarterbacks starting this year.
Yeah, but to me, I don't know. To me, having 4 is just way too many.
It is way too many, but this is what happens when Deshaun Watson is not Deshaun Watson anymore. But
he's cooked.
Dell Jr. said Graham should have full call on the defense. I think Antonio Pierce is going to have a play in that. In my opinion, I think Antonio Pierce definitely going to have a play in that. Graham might be the play caller, but I think when it comes to certain scenarios, Antonio Pierce is going to come in and be like, "Listen, this is what you need to run in this situation,"
and that's okay because that dude is a Super Bowl champion, and that dude is a Super Bowl champion, and they beat an undefeated Patriots team that set the record for most points in the season, so that's okay.
Facts. Let me see. AP needs to work on red zone scoring. I think that's one of our issues on defense is red zone scoring. So hopefully we can definitely get more. Dell, you're talking offense or defense when it comes to that?
Offense. That's offense.
Okay.
And
yeah, red zone scoring that's been an issue for us for the last 10 years. I'm sorry.
And there were some breakdowns with that in the preseason too. And I was like, oh man, here we go again.
Yeah, but that boils down to play calling though. Like that red zone scoring is play calling. Like you don't have like the whole field to work with like that. You got to call a play that you know gonna work, and we don't have the confidence like that. And that's gonna be one of the things that we're gonna have an issue with. I hope we can find a way to get it in. But now what just crossed my mind is this is what you guys like to talk about is the run game. Now, if the run game is efficient, then that will help our red zone scoring because we're way one-dimensional when it comes to red zone attempting. So maybe if we can get our run game going, and I will say that I'm a little bit more on the board about our run game than I was in the beginning. So I'm coming to more of like the realization of what you guys are talking about. I think we are going to be like running through between the tackles and just giving it to them. We're not trying to necessarily break it out like Josh Jacobs, but we're trying to soften up the defense to keep them off our quarterback. So I think our red zone contingency is on that, our run game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know if you saw this tweet, Willie, when I saw that Alex Leatherwood got released from the Chargers. I'm going to just say this. Just go back and look at that draft when Alex Leatherwood got drafted and look at my reaction. The Raider Nation was on my head. They wanted my head on a platter so bad for Alex Leatherwood. When I try to tell y'all, this man is not a first round pick. This man is not even a second round pick. He was terrible at Alabama, but nobody wanted to say nothing about, oh, he's great in the run. He does this good. He does that good. And now look at him. He was a scrub for us, and he's been a scrub everywhere he went. Get out the league. Sorry, I had to say that.
He did win the Outland Trophy.
That don't mean nothing. He still was a scrub at Alabama. That don't mean the damn thing. He was still a scrub at Alabama. Pull up the tape. Go look at the tape. Look at the all 22 film. That tells it all. I don't care if he won. I don't care what he won. His offensive line, the rest of the offensive line made him look good. They carried on him. That's why he won it. Please. But Ray Love said, yep, we hanging our hats on that KC ass whooping. See, Black? Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't say that we're doing that. I mean, not us three for sure.
None. I mean, but not.
It was something definitely to build on, and that game actually got AP the job, man. Let's just call it what it is.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. But that's what I'm saying. They laying their hat on that. Like me personally, I expect us to beat Kansas City once a year anyway. Yeah, like, I don't care how good they are.
Yeah, like, I think we can beat them once a year.
Teams make the division games are different. So it don't matter what y'all record is, like the division games are going to be different. So I expect us to beat Kansas City one out of the two games. Like I just do. I just hope that when we do beat them, it's a game that count for something and not at the end of the year where they're just coasting because they already know what they're going to be seeded or they already know that they're making the playoffs and they already running the table.
Facts. Shout out to Ray Love. I really do appreciate you being a mod up in here, bro.
Yeah, shout out to you, Brody.
Yeah, I don't know who Logic thought rules is, but your Logic need to think about rules. I smell a 5-win season coming. Good luck with that, man. I'm not. I don't know. I don't think it's 5 wins. I think it's a downgrade from last year, and I think that to me, I think our roster offensively outside of Josh Jacobs is probably a little bit better offensively, but that's remains to be seen. I'm trying to be optimistic as much as possible. It remains to be seen. Defensively, I already know what our defense can do. That's why I said between top 10 and 15. Defense, I won't put them between 10 and 15. I won't put them above 10 just yet. It gotta happen. It gotta work for me. It gotta make sure they gelling for me.
8 and 15. How about confident. How about that? 8 between 8 and 15.
No. 10 and 15.
Okay.
We should go.
Come on, Raider Nation. Let's make a believer out of them.
We should go. We should do a preseason schedule pick to see what we think the record gonna be. Because although I think 5 wins is disrespectful, it ain't too far off because we're not gonna win. If they win 7.
I think that would be a great show for a great topic for next show once we get through all of these last little practices and see if anybody got injured that's of significance. That would be a dope show right there where we just go through each game on a schedule and give our thoughts.
Now I'm gonna say this. He said that run game can't be efficient when nobody fears the QB. I'm gonna be honest with you here. I disagree with that. And the only reason why I disagree with that because I don't like to talk about the 49ers, but the 49ers have a good running game. But nobody fears Brock Purdy. Let's just be real. I understand he went to a Super Bowl because of what he has around him. But let's be realistic here. Who fears Brock Purdy right now? No.
Well, it's the play calling, though. See what keeps Brock Purdy relevant is the play calling.
But you got to think about it. Every quarterback that came through the 49ers with that play calling, and look what he has, look what the 49ers has built around their quarterbacks with running backs, receivers, and tight ends, and offensive line.
So nobody fears the quarterback. Nobody fears the quarterback, but they fear the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, well, I think what Logic is saying is this: like, if you don't have a threat from the quarterback position, you're not going to be efficient in the run game because even if the run game start popping off, you could stack the box, right? And if your quarterback still can't make the plays when the box is stacked or when they confusing the coverage, then it's kind of all for naught. But now you got a quarterback that'll make them pay when they get out of line or misalignment, then the run game could be efficient because you might be looking past, here come a run, run, here come another pass, run it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you unpredictable. So I think that's what he's saying. Like, if our quarterback isn't efficient, then the run game can't be efficient. That's what I think that Logic is saying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I think though that Gardner's just good enough. He doesn't have to. Yeah. He doesn't have to be feared in order for this offense to be efficient and because oh my gosh, it's so many things I can say right now.
Yeah, it's so many factors. It's so many factors.
I'm gonna save it for next week.
Oh, we're definitely gonna save it for next week because we definitely gonna do like a schedule prediction next week.
Will we have all the fellas on with us next week? Will all of us be here next week?
I have to check. I know Raider Nation Hotspot was on the road. He was in the middle of driving from Seattle. So, and Rodney only can be on Saturdays as of right now because he works on Tuesdays. So,
okay.
Hopefully when we hopefully the first Saturday before the Raiders game, that's when we're gonna do CTE.
All right.
Commitment to excellence, not the CTE, the concussions. Black. I just wanted to make sure I wanted to clarify that before he started going crazy. Like, what?
He did that the last
You
time.
learning me too fast. You learning me too fast.
You see,
Yeah.
I said CTE black.
Right.
I had to make sure I clarified that because if I did, he would have been like, "What are we talking about?"
I don't even know what CTE stand for. I just know it stands for commitment to excellence.
Right.
I
I'm
don't
with
know.
y'all on that.
Facts.
Fact.
But just to let y'all know, we'll be back next Tuesday. We definitely gonna do a schedule prediction for everyone. Hopefully everyone can be on here for next Tuesday Nothing But Raider podcast. Willie, let them know where they can find you at, brother. Just say Shake Back Media Group. Damn it.
Yeah.
Google me, Shake Back Media Group.
They said Google me.
Yes, that's what Shaq told Charles Barkley. Google me, Chuck. Google me. Yeah, you can actually do that because we're there on Google. I mean, it's going to be the first. I don't know how I got the SEO on that, but we did. So everything will be there: LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, MySpace. Nigga, oh my bad.
This man said MySpace.
Facebook. Yeah, man. Yeah. So look, we're offering 20% off. We are also a life coaching department, have a life coaching arm of our business. We're offering 20% off for anybody that needs to be coached in their life, or if you want to become a certified coach, hit me up. I got you.
Well, y'all know where y'all can find me at NBR Pod 1 everywhere on social media. I don't have a TikTok yet for the Raiders thing, but I think I should make one for that. I'm not too sure though, but I already run too many platforms on my phone. My phone be dying like every 2 hours because I be on every different platform from the Darian Hopkins Sports Show to this one. So, NBR Pod 1, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Get your $20 off. If you want to go to any of football games that's coming up, NFL season is right around the corner. So get your $20 off your first purchase using that promo code on SeatGeek. Use it SRT. Make sure y'all go check that out. And that's basically it for me. Black, you got anything final thoughts before we head out of here?
Yeah, it's football season now.
He woke. You see it now.
Football season now. We're gonna see what the goings on gonna be. So I'm excited. So where y'all want to find me, y'all find me right here. We're gonna be here on Tuesday nights. And then don't forget the CTE. The only CTE is commitment to excellence.
And you'll be on there soon too, we hope, right?
I'll be on there. Well, that's on Saturday.
That's
me, y'all ain't been doing it already. Have y'all?
It's gonna be the Saturday right before Sunday. That first week one.
Right? Yeah, Saturday usually comes before Sunday.
You know what I mean? Damn it.
No, y'all haven't been doing the show already, have y'all?
No,
we haven't. I didn't think so. Yeah, no, I'll be there for that for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to all the channels, man. We definitely are in the building. Just to let y'all know, T Public is booming right now for the NBR podcast, the NBR podcast merch. Just to let y'all know real quick, I just want to pull this up because the NBR podcast merch is definitely hitting right now. We have so many different types of logos, hats, cell phone cases, everything of that nature. If anybody want to, have their logo on the website, I could get the proceeds to go to y'all as well. So let me just, we have like the I'm a Raider Devontae Adams t-shirt, the LV with the NBR Pots 65 years logo. We got the Bo Nose throwback, the RWA Raiders win, NBR logo, Charles Woodson, the Nothing But Raiders, like the Monday Night Raw type of logo, Max Crosby, Devontae Adams. So it's been booming. So like if y'all do want to get some merch right now, we have a sale for $16, which is really, really cheap. But like we have, almost 2 days, almost a day for y'all to get this for sale for $16. So y'all could definitely go and check that out on T Public. The link is definitely in the description. But We are out of here, y'all. Peace out. Have a great night. And it's all about the Raiders. Okay. Matter of fact,
Raiders.
yeah, I don't even have my sound bite up yet, but I'm gonna have it up on my play-by-plays. Yeah.
Hit the red, you feel me, in the corner, y'all. Hit the subscribe button.
Yes, in the right hand corner. Right or left hand?
Over there, or is it over there?
Let's just do both.
Over there.
Right here. We out of here, y'all. Peace out. And just let you know the Raiders is live now. They were live for their press conference with a few players. So if y'all do want to go back and look at that, y'all could do that as well. But we out. And y'all have a great night. Peace out.
All right.
Yes,
Peace.
sir.
I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared from the standpoint of winning about being feared and being imitated. And then respect could come after that.